Right, so somewhat of a continuation from yesterday, or an expansion on yesterday, on the whole aspect of Moshe Rabbeinu giving tochecha, rebuking to Am Yisrael. First of all, we have to say that it's very interesting of the occasion that he said. It's right after the wars that he had with the Sichon and all the Chaver over there. Like a good leader, he gives them the tochecha after they won the battle, not before they went to the battle. So that is also very important to notice when you give somebody rebuke and you're trying to tell him that he's doing something wrong. Is not only is how to say it, is when you say it. When you say it. So the pasuk says, "Elu ha'devarim asher diber Moshe el kol Israel be'ever ha'Yarden, b'midbar, ba'arava, now mul suf, ben paran uben tofel, ve'lavan, v'chatzarot, ve'di zahav." So it gives us a location of that. Di zahav is the place that we call today Dahab, on that side of the. However, what's interesting here is the words ben paran uben tofel. Those words. Is this here? Ben. So Rashi goes along with Chazal and already stated a few times that the names of those places that are mentioned in the first pasuk of a parasha really refers to a tochecha, to the rebuking that he's giving them on the sins that were done in those places. For example, Paran refers to the chet of the meraglim, to the spies that were sent from Midbar Paran, and he says, and Tofel ולבן אינם שמות מקומות, אלא רומזים הם לתוכחה. In other words, it says, Tofel and Lavan hints for the tochecha itself, for the rebuking itself. And he says, Al dvarim shetaflu al Haman, shehu Lavan, on complaints that they so-called attached upon the man, because the man was white. So that's Tofel, but you applied on the white. And we're not talking about cocaine or. He says, and what does it say over there? V'nafshenu katza balechem haklokel. And we had enough of this like inferior bread that you're giving us. The Kliyakar pushes that, or doesn't agree with this interpretation of Tofel ve'Lavan, that it says, according to him, it says, "En lo dimyon b'mikra." That's not what it seems like from the pasuk. That's not what it is. You can refer to it to this. And it says that it seems like that what the Kliyakar is saying to us, that the meaning of the word tafal, which we write in this pasuk tofel, is taf, pei, and lamed. It says, it's not what, if you're going to say litpol, to attach upon, or to complain on, or to stick it to, it's going to be with tet, pei lamed, not with taf, pei lamed. For example, if you look at Tehillim Kuf Yutet, it says, Taflu alai sheker zedim. They placed upon me a lie. I mean, things that I didn't do, people lied about me. So they attached this lie upon me. The Kliyakar even suggests that if we want to identify Tofel with the complaint on the man, we could have done this according to the meaning of the word Tafel. Tafel really means something that has no flavor. Lechem Tafel has no flavor, like no salt. Ochel Tafel. So it's not that we applied it on. He said, if you want to, as it says in Iyov, Hayochal tafel mibli melach. How can you eat food that is tasteless without salt? Salt gives flavor to the food, brings up the flavor. So tafel, taf pei lamed, not litpol, to attach to. according to the Kli Yakar, Tofel does not hinge for the Tochecha on their attitude towards the man, but on the Tochecha for what they did on Maaseh HaEgel, on the Egel. Because it says, and now quoting, Ki matzinu lashon ze ba'avodah zara bekama mekomot. We found this in a few places. One of them is in Yirmiyahu, in Perek. Perek? Chav Gimel.
Wow.
Pasuk?
Bet.
Tet. Yud.
Dalet. Yud Dalet. Pasuk Yud Dalet. And it says, V'niviecha chazulach shav v'tafel. And also Yecheskel calls them tachetafel. V'chen, the people who did the Egel says, Ele Elohecha Yisrael. And it says, Uvazen natnu tifla leElohim. When they say to the Egel, this is your God, they made in a way the whole concept of God himself meaningless, tasteless, because that's the ikarna, that's the main thing. Okay. However, it seems like the main complaint of the disapproval of the Kli Yakar towards the Svara of Rashi is the words bain. When we say lashon bain, between, and it says that it doesn't sit along well between what Rashi says, because if you say Faran Tofel, over there it says Bein Paran Ubein Tofel, between those two places. So therefore, the Kli Yakar mefarish this verse Bein Paran Ubein Tofel like this, and it says Kachma de Bini Bini. In other words, in between. Ben Shiva Asar Betamuz Letisha Asar Betamuz. Between those two places, to the time in which it took them. That's from Yud Zayin Betamuz, the 3 weeks, and Tisha B'Av. It says, Ki befaran haya ma'aseh meraglim. Spies were in Faran. Asher bo bachyu b'chiyah shel chinam. They cried in vain. They cried for nothing. They complained for nothing. V'ukva b'chiyah ledorot belel Tisha B'Av. And that became a cry for generation on Tisha B'Av. V'tofel haynu ha'egel asher asu. That's the egel in which they made. V'ze haya b'shivah betamuz. Bayom shebo nishtabru haluchot. In the day on which the first, what do you call them? Plaques were tablets, and not this tablet, that tablet, were broken. It says, and the luchot, the tablets, were tablets made out of
Sapphire.
stones, right? There was stone. And it was therefore established that in Shivasar Betamuz, and we already know, the walls of the city of Jerusalem were also broken. So he says, Midah keneged midah. Uven shne gvulim elu, Israel rovetz ben hamishpatayim. And in between those two boundaries, that's the destiny of Am Israel. And Lashon Ben uben that we say here, as it says in Eicha, Perek Aleph, Kol rotfei yisigua ben hametzarim. If you want to get to the Jews, the Achilles point is in those 2 weeks. Everybody is strong. It's like Achilles. They held him like this. They dip him in the mikveh or whatever they did over there, chocolate, and it was like, kept like this. This is Achilles point of Am Israel is during this time. Because of what you did then, they're going to pay for it forever. So that's why you understand why this time a person needs to be a little bit careful. Of course, it's a spiritual blemish, but yet doesn't mean that we're supposed to ignore that, even though it's a spiritual blemish. It says, כי בין חטא העגל, I'm still quoting, כי בין חטא העגל ובין חטא המרגלים קרע רבץ, ודוחו לא יוכלו לקום. According to תהילים, פרק ל"ו. We got such a blow that we couldn't get up from this. It's like when you go to, let's say, animal, a donkey, and you hit him so hard, or you get somebody gets a big bang in the head, like a knockout. Basically, we got a knockout. We couldn't get out of this. But we made ourselves vulnerable for these things. Now, of course, pay attention to what exactly happened here. Now, you understand the issue of doing an averah. When you make an averah, as we said before, but when you make an averah, you're creating a hole, a blemish, a dent, an opening in, I don't know, I hate to sound like a new age, in your defensive aura, in your immune system. That's when you're doing averah. This was such a big hole that they got knocked out. And we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. According to the Kli Yakar, Ben Pharaoh or Ben Tofel, as we said, henceforth these days, and henceforth days that we have to be so careful, because these are the days that usually are days of decline for Am Yisrael. I don't know, not for nothing they have, okay, I don't want to talk about this now, about those faggots in Israel, but never mind. The Kli Yakar explains why those days of Ben HaMetzarim are days of decline to the Jews, and it says the Hatzalah of Israel from their enemies, saving the Jews from their enemies, could be in one of two ways or both of them alike. A, ואהבת את השם אלוקיך. You have to love Hashem. He says, כי אהבת השם גורמת לדבקות בו, ואז הוא מציל לכל הדבקים בו. By you wanting to attach yourself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, your yearning to get close to Him creates closeness. קרוב השם לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראו באמת. Be'emet, truthfully. Here, that will answer your. Where is it now? That will answer your question about the rewards that be'emet, that you really want Hashem. And that has to do with a lot of things that we do. Now you think about how many times have I said that, and we come back to this over and over and over again about examining your acts. Are you about to do something? Is this going to bring you closer to Hashem or further from Hashem? Of course, there's nothing that will bring you closer to Hashem than learning Torah. As we said yesterday, the joy that a person learns when he understands something, and believe me, when I'm telling you that, when you have a certain understanding of learning Torah, I cannot describe it anything else by the feeling of love. There's nothing that would compare to it as when you're in love and you get those like butterflies in your chest and you feel like, that's this feeling that you get inside. There's nothing that would bring you closer to love Hashem than learning Torah. So when you want to run out of it, out of here, you're not just running away physically from this place. What you are saying also is that you want to run away from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and if you really could, you probably would not have done this altogether in any shape or form. You gotta be very careful. And the same thing goes about the way you daven. Do you want to daven or you have to daven? And so on and so forth. There are things that you have to do. You have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to drink, you have to have a job or some kind of a source of an income. But what will happen if a person all his life lives for eating? He's going to become obese and he's going to die. And the same thing about work. You're only working so you could have your basic needs in life So you can come here and learn. So you can learn Torah. Why you should learn Torah? So you'll be able to be Mekayim ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. How am I supposed to love Hashem if I don't understand anything? You never sing an Am Haaretz who loves HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Their God is Elo Elokecha Yisrael, Elokei Zahav, Elokei Etz va'even, God of materialism. And I told you, I didn't understand, what does it mean, the Pasuk, when the Pasuk says Elokei Etz va'even? Until I came to America, and I realized that in America you build houses from bricks and wood, and 2x4s. I mean, it was weird. I mean, in Israel, they build it from cinder blocks. And I saw how people cherish their houses like they're temples, like it's their God. They live for their house. And I realized that's what it is. And the mighty old dollar, that's your Egel HaZahav. If you can take a job that will pay you, argument's sake, let me ask you this. Let's say you take a job that will pay you $180,000 and you can work 3 days a week. Why in the world would you work like a dog 6 days a week to make $300,000? I mean, you're a criminal. I don't care how much you tell me you love this rabbi and you cherish the other rabbi and how far do you feel or you don't feel. You're a hypocrite. You just made yourself an Egel Zahav. I don't think that anybody else is any better than that. I mean, after all, who's going to give you the bracha in your money? Who? Uncle Sam? No, Kadosh Baruch. So you got to think about what you're doing. That's okay. That's the thing. So that's the first one. The second one is ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. In other words, love also, but you have to love your fellow Jew. It says, "Az ish et re'eu ya'azoru, af hem, אם הם חוטאים, ושר השם מעליהם, מכל מקום יש להם קצת תקווה בדרך הטבע." He says, even those people who are away from Hashem, if they really feel it for the other Jew, even if Hashem goes out of their, of them, because they don't love Hashem, and there are people like this in Israel. You have some Israelis that are very secular, they don't believe in anything, but Israeli and tzarich, help you, so on. So b'derech hateva, naturally they'll help because you help other people will help you. It's common sense. And this is the big problem in our days. In those 2 days, Am Yisrael lost both of them. And he writes, V'im ken el mi yanusu, who they're going to run to. We don't love one another. We don't care about one another. We don't care about God. But I'm saying caring about one another. I think we have to stop. And we have to stop with all this nonsense about Sfaradim, Ashkenazim, and so on and so forth. And it starts with Shidduchim. And it starts with our attitude of almost internal racism. Oh, I'm not going to marry anybody unless he's Persian. I'm not going to marry anybody unless he's Bukhari. Or I'm not going to marry anybody unless he's Ashkenazi. What the heck cares? Mazeh. You going to tell me, I said, no, I'm only going to marry Bukhari. Oh, no, I'm only going to marry Ashkenazi. That's racism. Stop looking at these things. You got to look at something very simple. Yeah, when you don't have any Torah in you, those things make a difference because it's like saying, Italian and Irish, in the 40s. It's impossible. And usually, many times I met kids, well, let's say my age, or Italian Irish. Oh man, don't ask me. I'm Italian and Irish. Oh, it's like like some kind of a defect. I understand. Fine. I don't know if I think you meant somebody like that. But if I have Torah, and you have Torah, our life is Torah. We have everything in common. If I'm an Am Haaretz, so I need to hold on to something, I'm going to hold on to this stupidity. But if I'm a Ben Torah, if I'm Talmid Chacham, and why shouldn't be anybody to be Talmid Chacham? What difference does it make? You have Shulchan Aruch, I have Shulchan Aruch. You have Gemara, I have Gemara. We have the same. We have a lot of building blocks together. So it doesn't make a difference. So you see really who does it. And I don't care how much Gemara you learn, if you hold like this, or only this, or this, so there's something wrong with you, the way you interpret your Torah. Torah did not penetrate into you. So that's Ahava ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And if, of course, you don't love Hashem, what do you have? And it says, and he says the following, כי ב-17 בתמוז שעשו העגל בו ביום נזורו אחור ופנו אל השם יתברך עורף ולא פנים. When they, in 17 בתמוז, they turned away from Hashem, they gave him their back. They said, we want to go back to Mitzrayim. We don't want this. We don't want this. We want to go back. As it says, ותאמרו בשנאת השם אותנו הוציאנו, because Hashem hated us. That's why he took us out of Mitzrayim. So we want to go back. And it says, because, and it continues, it says, they held that each and every one of them hates one another. So Mimele, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates them as well. And since they were mistaken to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates them for no reason, so therefore, for sure, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates us for no reason because he took us out of Mitzrayim to kill us here, so for sure we should hate one another. But difference doesn't make. You see, it's like a catch-22 that they get themselves into themselves. And one trouble lead to another. The Beit Rishon and Beit Sheni were both churban during this time. And it says, V'zeh haya, and that was, right, Shivasar B'Tamuz happened in Chodesh, because they went back, that in the Chodesh, in the month, that the zodiac sign of it is Cancer, Sartan, right? A crab, and the crab walks backwards. So you see, the Kli Yashar says the attribute of the month did not help them. They went backwards as much as the crab goes backwards, so they went backwards. And the other one, and Tisha B'Av, there was Maaseh HaMeraglim, ובו נולדה מידת שנאת חינם בישראל. So at the beginning they hated Hashem. And Tisha B'Av, they hated each other. It says, וזה היה בחודש אב שמזלו אריה. The sign of that is Leo. כי כל אחד דמיונו כאריה יחשוף לטרוף את חברו. And in Tehillim Yud Zayin, it says, everybody was like a lion, roaring lion to eat his fellow Jew. ואז they lost tremendous hatzalah tiv'it, natural help, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu was not helping them, at least they'll help each other. As you could see, in the time of Achav, they threw Hashem behind. But the fact they were one another helped them, because they were united. And then ultimately HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps them as well. But when you throw away HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you throw away your fellow Jew, Habibi, you're alone. Everybody, I mean, you are like a defenseless organism. You have no immune system. So you're going to get sick, you're going to get hit. And Shivasa B'Tamuz was the, as we said, was the Hashgacha, Maaseh Egel, which turned around. So they lost the Hatzalah Ba Mipat Hashgacha, so there was no saving of Hashgacha Prati. That's why the wall was breaking. They threw away the Torah and so on and so forth. ובתשעה באב ידי חטא המרגלים, בו נולדה מידת שנאת חינם בישראל. That's when they lost the ability to have mutually protect one another. And it says, and the Kli Yakar continues, it says, "Dehayom hapotech et yemei ben hametzarim vayom hachotem otam mashpi'im al kol hayamim shebenehem." The way you started, Yud Zayin B'Tamuz, and the way you ended, this is the hashpah of all the days in between, and also even after that. So it says, "Nimtza sheben hagvulim ha'ele," between Yud Zayin B'Tamuz and Tisha B'Av, nitparda chavila. The whole bundle came apart. It was broken. It was loose. מכל מקול כי סרו מהר מן השם. They ran away quickly from Hashem. וסרו גם איש מעל אחיו, and they removed each other from each other. ונמצא ש17 בתמוז ותשעה באב, גדר מזה וגדר מזה, ואין דרך לנטות ימין ושמאל. So there's no way for us to run. We basically put ourselves in a trap. Because you put yourself in a trap, you can't be saved by Hashem. And you can't save by your unity. And that's why it says, כל רודפיה השיגוה בין המצרים. Even if a person, when it says kol rotfeh, even somebody who is much weaker than you, because you don't have it, is going to be able to put a dent in you. It's going to be able to hurt you. You want examples? Look, Israel has, let's say, nuclear bombs, airplanes, tanks, commandos. Here comes those fadayunim, those murderer Palestinians with balloons and rocks, and they raining havoc in Am Israel. Why? Because you threw away Hashem in Israel, and you threw away one another. The sinat chinam there in Israel today is horrific. And I'm going to tell you, I love Eretz Israel. I love it. It's an unbelievable place. It's beautiful. It's fascinating. It's spiritually loaded. But I'm going to go there and I'm going to hate my brother? So I might as well, if I would apply common sense and leave me with all the propaganda that Israel is like shoved down your throat like day in and out. If I'm going to be truthful with myself, what's better? For me to be in Israel and to be secular, chas v'shalom, or to hate my fellow Jew, chas v'shalom, or to be in America, to love my fellow Jew, and to love Hashem. What's better? Of course. Second one. It's beating the purpose of being in Israel. Beating the purpose of being in Israel. We don't understand that. And we don't say that to Israelis because we feel, oh, chas v'shalom will say something. Or they're sitting there. What are you doing? The problems that Am Israel faces now in Israel is not because of anything but they're themselves abounding the Jewish way, the Torah, the Derech Hashem, and the Sinat Chinam that exists in all aspects of Israeli society. Secular and religious, of all spectrums. That's why it's very simple. Am Israel was united, 1967, they walked all the way to the Suez Canal. Walked. Armies from all over. Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, Morocco. From all over they came. We walked. Yeah, people died, but it was, highway ride. Now with stones, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. You think the Israeli army is so strong? It's not. Why? Because there's also tremendous decline in the willingness of the soldiers to fight. Why should I fight for him? I don't like him. He wears a kippah. It's not because giving this territory, you're giving that territory. It's because we don't give anything from ourselves to our friends. Needless to say, to us, to Am Israel, and to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So here, we're almost done. The Kavanah of Moshe Rabbeinu is not only to remind the Jews on the past, but also to give them tochecha on the future. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu says in this tochecha, Re'u, you should see, Ki atem omdim ben shne gvulim elo, you're standing between those two borders, ben hametzarim. From one side you have the Faran, and Maseh Tofel, and he says in order v'chdei lezarzam ala tshuva amar ken, in order for them to make tshuva, to change their ways before they enter the land. Because if you enter the land like this, you have no chance. Just so happens. Because if you're not going to make tshuva on abandoning HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's going to be a cry for generation because you don't want the Holy Land. You want to go back to Egypt. That's why your din will be to exile from it. You didn't want it? Okay, I'll take it back from you. And with Maseh Tofel, they're going to, which is going to happen in Shiva Asar Tammuz, right? When the whole thing had happened, the city broke, and then Tisha B'Av they went to Galut. That's exactly what happens. And why? Because, as remember, we did it a few days ago. The machlok, what caused the real problem to our destiny and the destruction of the temple was not just the Romans, it's more of the fighting of the Jews among themselves. As we learned that, that's why it was important for us to do that. And you should know that the course of history is not a gzerat goral, it's not predetermined, it's not karma. It could be changed according to certain parameters and actions that you're going to put in place. When Am Yisrael did the chet in the Meraglim, they didn't want to go to Eretz Israel, right? So they cried. However, that's not the case. You can always change it. You can change this, even if you didn't do tshuva, even if it will take you hundreds of years afterwards, but it's going to be on that day. It's going to be at that day. And he wants to make them tshuva, and that brings another reason why a person should make tshuva. If it's not for you, and if it's not for me, and it's not for Am Yisrael, at least for your children, I'm doing chesed with your children that were born to give you tochecha. This should not become a cry for generation, because you should be aware that your action will affect the future of those who didn't come yet to this world. Example giving, your kids, your grandkids, and so on and so forth. So you better off hear tochecha from someone and fix your ways instead of being a crybaby, a spoiled brat. And say, why are you talking to me like this? You know, who are you to talk? Who am I? Because I care about you. I care about Am Yisrael. I care about the Torah. I care about your children more than you do. They aren't even born yet, and I care about your grandkids more than you do. Because if you did, you would not do that. However, don't forget to give the tochecha appropriately. Give it nicely. Be honest. Be honest with yourself as well. And don't give it at the time of the ordeal. Try to give it either beforehand as a warning or afterwards. Say, Habibi, you should not have done it. You should make sure and change your ways. Because the person is in the ecstasy of doing the averah, it'll be very hard for you to stop it. So that's why you should see if you have a friend or family who's kacha slip sliding away, a little bit off the derech. Before he falls hard and pull with him everybody else, give him nice tochecha, but first make sure also that you are okay. And your tochecha comes from a good place. You don't give tochecha to someone for you to feel good. You only give it because you feel bad for him, because you care about him. Come from a place of love and it will be heard. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we should all not fast in this Tisha B'Av, even though it's Sunday, but Mashiach can still come and we can change this. We could change this. And that's why we say that Mashiach could come on Tisha B'Av. Why? Because if we make tshuva, that will be erased from the pattern of history that it's going to happen, that these days are going to be from days of crying to days of rejoicing. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that should be soon, and everybody should be mekabel upon themselves. First of all, mitzvah v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, because right now we have to do so. And the only reason why we do v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha is because v'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol ma'odecha. Shabbat shalom and have an easy and meaningful fast.